Because I wanted you to. Okay. Y'all, we're going to get through these questions. I want to give you time to ask questions. Because other classes had some questions. So please get out your packets. That's what I need you to do right now. Are you ready for the...
Huh?
Are you in there yet? Not yet.
No, not yet.
Olivia, are you in it?
Yeah.
What do I look up again?
Just go read the internet and then I'll find it for you. Yeah, I moved this up. Yeah, that's you. Oh, you did. Nice. Good.
Well, I just want my like search bar.
Wait. What? Okay.
I heard something else.
I don't need to.
Oh, guys. Where's that? Okay.
That weird. Where
She was what?
Yeah, so-
Yeah, you get it pretty soon.
Yeah, use this one? Is that right?
My Wi-Fi might need to be changed. Yeah, like,
I don't know.
just like press on one.
Do we still get to have partners?
For what?
Choir.
Probably. I don't know. Choir, I'm actually gonna do the worst on my choir finally. You're crazy.
Why? Why would
I'm
you
gonna
not?
be the worst.
Because we have to conduct the entire
Literally,
class.
look at me right now. Actually, it's not that bad. Wait, wait, I did that wrong. No, it's up. No, you start up from down. So then,
What is happening?
1, 2, 3.
Okay, here we go.
Do you have any paper?
Second drawer from the top, I think, is the papers. Or is it all done?
No, I don't think so.
Do we get to use this on our final?
Yeah, you need to use that on the file. Olivia, do you need paper?
Yes. Oh my gosh, dude, what?
Do
I
have
have
any
cheese before
Hmm?
going to
Like,
So my story question.
you don't have to. No, it's up to you. You're
So
one.
why the heck would I?
Just your work. Like,
It's
if
just
it's,
like, it's like fine.
it's not like, or you can just, like, all I want you to do on paper is just write your work down. It's like,
Yeah. Really excited though.
because if you're doing it all in your
See, it's me and my
head,
dad, and I'm kind of scared.
I'd rather see you work some of it out on paper.
Okay, I just had the house, like, as
Yeah, no, so you actually have to choose
And then
something first. So you
you
don't-
didn't have to
Yeah.
say Kennedy
So sometimes
See
you
me.
gotta do research.
out by
See, there's no
Jackson's
explanation
car.
yet. Some of
He
them will have
told me this story,
explanations.
like, just now. And she was like, yeah,
Okay, so
I
you
saw
just have to
Sam
pick and
Kennedy
choose
and
which
Stevie
ones.
out by my brother's
Does that
car.
make sense?
And
Okay,
I
here we
told
go.
Jackson.
So, as we go, now it's on me. We are opening and starting on question 50. Okay, so the first question that you did. I personally would write everything down on my packet, not on a separate piece of paper, on the packet. That way it's all in one place. So you can look at these questions and go from there. Okay, so first things first. Slope-intercept form. Slope-intercept form was the thing that you can still see the little bubble up there because I couldn't reach that. Slope-intercept form is y equals mx plus b. Can we see this marker? Is that all right?
Yeah.
Okay, because my kids have been using the markers in the morning, so I don't know if you guys can see them or not. So do you remember slope-intercept form y equals mx plus b?
Yes.
We did this a lot, right? Like, I mean, a lot. M was the slope. And slope was rise divided by run. Rise goes both up and down. Run goes to the right. I may switch back to my boot. I walked to get my lunch and that was a mistake.
I
Okay.
know, I had, what's her name, Miss Freeline, she was like,
Are you supposed to be doing that?
yeah.
I'm allowed to walk a little bit in shoes, but I think I've been pushing it too much. Okay, then B, and this is where it's going to be important today. This positive B is the y-intercept. And this is where we start. Can you see the green, or is the green too? Is everybody good? You know what? If I'm asking, I'm just going to save these markers for the kids. Isabella, so I don't have to walk back there. Right behind you is a little box with markers. Can you toss me a blue and a green? Would that be all right? Thank you, honey. Thank you. Okay. So this is slope-intercept form. But when you look at your paper, it says f of x. F of x is y. You have to understand that. It's taking the place of y. So, now I'm going to start going over the problem. This was just some notes to help us with the problem. Everybody with me? Mm-hmm. If I've lost you, let me know. Okay? This is your time to be like, hey, Mr. H, I don't get it. So, if I have f of x equals, and it's negative 4x plus 2, is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay. But it's asking us for the x and y intercepts. Well, from this is really y equals mx plus b. Does that make sense? Because f of x is y. Yes? So what is my y-intercept?
2.
2, positive 2, right? Okay. Take a look at your y-intercepts right now. Is there a y-intercept that's 2?
No.
Yes.
Which one, Marissa?
D.
D. There is only one that has a y-intercept of a positive 2. The answer is D. But how can you figure this out? So this is where you're going to go, oh, I remember doing that a while ago. I said x-intercept, and underneath we put y equals 0, and then we had a line. And then we had y-intercept, and we said x had to equal 0, right? So for my y-intercept, it was y equals m, which is negative 4 times 0 plus 2. This is 0 plus 2, because all I did was substitute this in. So now y equals 2, which means if x is 0, my y is 2. There's the ordered pair for my y-intercept. Okay, do you remember doing this? You might not remember how to do it, but do you remember doing this? Okay, that's part of the review for the final. Then this one. Even though we were able to find the answer just from slope-intercept form, which you know is D, the answer is D. Could we find our x-intercept? Yeah. So y equals negative 4x plus 2. Y is 0. So now we have 0 equals negative 4x plus 2. I subtract 2 from both sides. Subtract 2 from both sides. That's negative 2 equals negative 4x. I divide by negative 4. X equals 1/2. Well, if x is 1/2 and y is 0, the ordered pair is 1/2 comma 0.
How'd you get?
Go ahead.
How'd you get the y-intercept?
Whenever we're doing the y-intercept, x has to be 0. Because an ordered pair that's on the y-intercept, x will always be 0. Okay? What questions do we have about this? I'm going to put on some music, guys. I'm going to take attendance. Give me a
I
second.
have a question.
Absolutely.
I found the answer, but what I did was I just graphed it.
And that's fine. And when you graphed it, you had to use the y-intercept, right?
Yeah.
So you did the same thing that we did with the y equals mx plus b. And then you graphed it and saw, oh, it's going at positive 2 and somewhere else. And that's absolutely fine. Okay? I don't need it to be done my way. If you come up with a mathematically sound way and you get the right answer, awesome. Even on this test, let's be honest, on the final that's going to be multiple choice like this, I'm not going to know what way you use. Next year when I'm teaching any of you, I want it to be mathematically sound. Like if you're like, wow, I did this, and I'm like, none of that, you got the answer, but it actually shouldn't have worked, then I would correct you. But right now, it's a multiple choice. If you get the right answer, huzzah. Does that make sense? Okay. I shouldn't have said that. Okay, let's go to the next page. The next two questions are both about what we're going to do now. And it is what is a function. So, may I erase this? Is everybody good? Maris, are you still copying this?
You can erase it.
No, I'll erase over here. I'm good. I want to make sure you guys have this. Again, the final is not going to be I gotcha. This is going to be a, oh, he really got us ready for this. Everything that he went over is there. There is no I gotcha on this final. So, a function must have.
How'd you get the zero?
Is this still on the same page?
Nope, this is for the next question. What is it, Bill?
How'd you get a zero?
For which one, honey?
The y. I can see that. You got the 2. Why did you become a 0?
Because for it to be an ordered pair. So, you ready? The y-intercept is right there at 2. Okay, you agree?
You just always need a 0.
So just wait. Okay. Do you know how to do ordered pairs? It's x comma y, right? Okay. So we know because of slope-intercept form that we're starting here at positive 2. Does that make sense so far? Okay. So here I start at the origin. Do I go left or right on my x-axis? So that's why x is 0. How many up do I go for y? 1, 2. That's how I got a 0, 2. Does that make sense?
So for the first one, you like don't graph it. You just
You can, but you don't need to. Okay? There's a lot of different ways to do it. So you can graph it. You could just go from this, or you could do the whole algebraic method of it.
And if we put like, just like that part on it.
You're just gonna you're gonna circle the answer. I don't care what your work looks like. You're gonna circle an answer. Okay? So whichever way works best for you, I am happy with. Okay? So now we're on those next questions. So those next questions say, which one is not a function, which one is a function. Okay? They're the same type of question. A function must have all x values, which we call domains, being different. Okay. May I erase now, Maris? Are you good?
Mhm.
Okay. Isabella, you good over here? So let's go through some of the things that we did in the past about functions. So if you start to remember some words, if you hear the word domain, those are my x values. Range are my y values. Do you remember hearing that earlier in the year? Domains are x's, ranges are y's. But how do we know if it is a function? So here's our first example. You might have seen what was called a mapping diagram. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then you saw arrows. And the question was, is this a function? So copy it down and then take a look. What do we think? Are all of the x values different?
Yeah.
Yes. 1 goes to 4, 2 goes to 5. They don't repeat. The x values cannot repeat. So, is a function. Wonderful. There was another way. 3, 7. Negative 2, 7.
What's MW?
What?
MWT.
Must? M-U-S-T?
Oh. I look like
1, 4. 3, 6. Is that a function?
No,
Why not?
because the x value 3 repeats.
The x value 3. So right here, this x value and this x value are the same. They repeat. Therefore, not a function. Okay. Then, the most helpful for what you're doing now. There was a certain kind of test that we were able to use to determine if something was a function when it was on a graph. I'm guessing you don't remember. What?
Is this one of the problems on here?
Yes. It is this problem and the next problem.
Which
Because they're both talking.
We're on 46 and we're on that
We're on the page you're on, the graphs.
Yeah.
You're writing this down. I'm talking about functions because you need to know all of this.
Isn't it the vertical line?
Yes, very good. It's the vertical line test. Air 5. Psh. Okay, the vertical line test. And this says, if I have a graph, let's have this.
Wait, is this on the same one?
So these are for both of those questions. So I don't care where you take the notes, but these are going to be for both the next two questions. The vertical line test says, if I draw a vertical line, vertical means up and down, how many times does it intersect, not the XY coordinate, but the actual graph? Well, it intersects once, 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 once. Notice how it's only ever going to intersect that curve once. If it only intersects once, it is a function.
Wait,
Okay?
how do you know which arrows they put? For,
So you would be given that. You're not drawing that. So I gave you that.
oh,
So the ordered pair then would be 1, 4, 2, 5, 3, 4. Your x's are all different. Doesn't matter about the y values. We only care about the x's. These are all good questions. Okay, I want you to ask these questions. These are all good questions. Give me a second, sorry.
Wait, where did it intersect?
Hmm?
Wait, did it not intersect?
So, you mean this one?
Yeah.
So do you see how when I do a vertical line, it only intersects once? Vertical line, it only intersects once. Vertical line, it only intersects once. Mr. H, we're confused. What do you mean about intersecting once? So this is a function. Well, let's do something like this. Okay. So I can immediately say it is not a function. Okay. Riley, you good? Olivia, you good? Okay. So when I draw a vertical line, how many times does it intersect that green curvy thing? 3. Right there, right there, right there. That means because, oh, that hurt. Okay, hold on. Am I able to see that? Not quite. When it intersects more than once, that means the x is repeating. So if it repeats like that, it is not a function. Okay? This is all stuff about being a function. Sorry, I'm going to switch back to my boot. I'm sorry. So take a look at the question. So we're looking at those graphs. Okay, we're looking at those graphs. Which is the only graph that when you draw a vertical line, it intersects that line more than once? A. Because when you draw a vertical line on A, it's already a vertical line. So if you draw a vertical line on it, it's overlapping every single point. So A is the one that is not a function because it intersects more than once. What questions do you have on that one? Because I see your mind's working. Okay. Then the next one says, which is a function. So take a look at letter A. Is letter A a function? So we're on the next problem, not the graphs.
No,
No, why not?
because the x value -3 repeats.
Yeah, the -3 repeats.
And 5.
Yep, and 5. Nice. What about C? Is C a function?
No,
No, why not?
because 4.
Because the 4s repeat. Okay. What about letter B?
No,
Why not?
because it goes between like every single one.
Yeah, if you drew the vertical line, it would intersect every single one. Which means letter D. If you draw a line through each of those points.
Wait, A was not a function?
A was not a function because, do you see how it repeats -3 and -3 is the x values? And 5 is x values? You can say no.
What?
So you're looking at,
No.
huh?
No.
So you're on this problem, right? This one?
Yeah.
Nope, we're on this one.
Oh, I was talking about the one we just did.
So this one, A was not a function because if you drew a straight line, it intersects every single point because it's already a vertical line. It would just overlap it. So A is the only one that's not a function for 46.
Okay, how is C a function? Or D?
So, do you see each of these points?
Yeah.
If you drew a line to the point, how many times would it intersect that point?
Oh, 4.
So, hold on. Is this fine? Let me see your pencil. So I'm going to draw a vertical line. How many times did it intersect?
2.
Where? Where are the two?
1.
1. How about right here?
1.
How about here?
1.
How about here?
Okay.
So that's why it's a function. You good? Isabella, you good? Okay. Y'all, I know this is boring, but I'm trying to make sure that you guys are ready and rocking and rolling for this,
What
okay?
color's the frog?
What color is the frog? I hope it's green. I hope it's green. But I don't know what that means.
Yeah.
Really said
I hope it's green.
That was hilarious.
No,
Black.
I put this. No.
Did you not
Grayson
know
was in
what
my
color a
way.
frog was?
No, Grayson was in my way when
I-
we were in science. I couldn't see the frog. And
Wait
thought
a
this-
minute, we're gonna stop. So you couldn't see the frog, yet you
Still expected.
didn't know what color it was?
No, so he put the frog in the bowl, but I
Grayson
thought.
was not on your way.
Okay, here we go, next question,
I thought he
because...
said fraud instead of frog.
Next question, here we go.
Fraud.
Yeah.
Frog, like money? Like
Yeah.
money frog?
Oh, yeah.
Like, why would
Isabella.
it be black?
Yeah. Yeah.
There, Marissa, you good?
Yeah.
Here we go. So, back to me. We are on question 41. Okay? We're rolling through these. We've gotten through 3 of them. Oh,
What time do we get out in the chapel?
what now?
20. What time do we get out in the
I think
chapel?
20 or 25, I don't know.
20.
When the bell rings. I have no idea. I'm going to teach and make sure that I can get through these without erasing. I think that's my daughter's dragon. I don't know. Okay,
It's like
so
it's supposed to be, I think.
here we go. Now listen. This one says, what is f of -8 when f of x equals 11 times x minus 24 divided by 2? Okay. So, here's the key to this. F of x. X is -8.
Wait, what one are we on?
41.
Wait, what was 44?
A. I mean B.
44 was D. Okay, so what we're going to do is substitute back in.
Oh, I know.
Hmm?
I know.
Good. I'm just thinking of it.
Okay.
So x is -8. So now I'm going to have 11 times -8 minus 24 divided by 2. So then I have 11 times -32 divided by 2. 11 times -32 is -352 divided by 2. When I divide that by 2, I get -176. That should have been a nice solid gimme. How do we feel about number 41? So that's letter C. You can copy down the work. You're gonna need a calculator. Isabella, do you have a calculator? Can you get that out, please? You have a calculator, yes?
Yeah.
Okay, now. Question 34. There are ways that I would solve it to save some time. I'm going to show you the way that I think is easiest for y'all first.
Wait, where'd the X go? What do you mean?
So x is -8. We substituted the -8 in for x. That's what that problem's asking us to do. Okay? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. May I erase this or do you have this copied down? Or no? Everybody good? Okay. Here we go. So, you have a table, and I'm going to leave the table up, and I'm going to show you how I do this. So which one represents this?
-3, 2.
What? Yeah, I've got it. Thank you. Sorry, I was like, what are you saying?
What? Oh, I thought you were asking what.
No. You're good. Okay. So here we are. The easiest way to do this is substitute these in. Listen, these are my x values, these are my y. Letter A says y equals -3x minus 19. So in your calculator, you're going to substitute in each of these until they don't work, because we want to see which one does work. So everybody get your calculator. So do -3 times -3. You should get 9. Minus 19, you get -10. So y equals -10 when x equals -3. So is that good? Does that work?
Wait, honey. Wait.
Yes? Okay, so I'm taking those numbers and plugging them in. If you stop right there and say, it's A. Well, that's not right. Riley, I need you to keep your head up, honey.
Is that X?
Yeah, x equals -3, y equals -10.
Or, I mean, -3x.
Yes, that is letter A. So I'm substituting these into letter A to see if letter A works. But now I have to do -2. So now, -3, so I'm going to go y equals -3 times -2 minus 19. That's 6 minus 19 is -13. So x was -2, y is -13. Does that match up?
No.
No. So can it be letter A?
No.
So it's not letter A. Because when we substitute them in, it didn't give me these numbers. Have I lost anybody? Because listen, I lost people in 4th hour. So if you're like, I don't understand what you did, now's the time to ask.
Why is the X above the negative?
Because I'm telling you that that's what the x was. It was -2. And then y was -13. So let's try B. Maris, what was letter B? Y equals?
Y equals, I think it's a negative x minus 13.
-x minus 13?
Yeah.
Okay. So let's substitute -3 into this one. So y equals a negative of a -3 minus 13. Well, that's +3 minus 13, so y equals -10. Okay, does that work? -3, -10. If we stop there, the answer would be B. But you have to check all of them.
What?
So now let's go y equals negative of a -2 minus 13. So that would be 2 minus 13, y equals -11. So when x is -2, y should be, no, it should be -7. Does that work? No. You see how we're picking and choosing which ones work?
Wait.
How
Okay.
does it not work?
So when x is -2, we should get -7. If the equation is correct. We got -11. So does that match up what the, no, okay.
Wait, so, for B,
Riley, I need you to go to the correct thing, please. Please get off your Life Prep Plus.
I'm not, my Chromebook died.
Do you have a charger?
No.
There's a charger over here on Mr. Kyle's desk. You can use that one.
wait.
Okay, go ahead.
Are we trying to, like, for B, like, y equals -10?
It's like kind of
Like, are we?
What, honey? So -3, -10 has worked for all of them. But you have to check to see if all of them work. So far they don't. So let's try C. Maris, let's see.
But I thought B worked,
x minus 1.
right?
No, ma'am. So when it's -2, it has to be -7. -2 was -11.
Okay.
Okay. So what was it? I'm sorry. Y equals -x.
No, y equals x
-1.
-1.
X minus 1. Okay. Here we go. Y equals -3 minus 1. Y equals -4. Does that work?
Yeah.
When x, wait a minute.
Wait.
When x is -3, we should be getting -10.
Not negative.
Did we get -10?
No.
No. So is that the answer? No. Okay.
Why is it
Wait, so what's the answer?
D.
It's not B.
D.
It's gonna be D. Isabella, go. Just wait.
How did you get -3?
Because you're substituting in the answers that they give you. At the top of the page, come on guys,
Sorry.
they're giving you the points that have to be in the equation. These points have to be in the equation. -3, -10, -2, -7, -1, -4. No, honey, I want you to sit at the computer and
Well,
continue to work.
It's dead. Like, it's not gonna. It's gonna take like at least 5 minutes.
Go ahead and open it, let's see. Because usually when I plug in my laptop, I can turn it on when it's plugged
Mine
in.
usually takes a while.
Questions there. So now let's do D. D is y equals what?
Wait, but how's it -3?
Y equals 3x.
What are you saying, Isabella?
Isn't it? Don't you like go down
3x minus 1.
the thing?
What do you mean going down the thing?
Like,
I'm done.
like there's 4 and there's 4 answers. So
You're always going to start with the first one because every single one has to work. Hey, look at it turning on. It's amazing. It's like I know technology.
First time in forever.
-3, -10. So it has to be -3, -10. When I do -3, it gave me -4. Okay? So now we're trying this one, which was 3x
So loud.
minus 1. Is that right? 3x minus 1. Okay, so y equals 3 times -3 minus 1. That's -9 minus 1. Y equals -10.
So you have to do all these problems.
Yes,
5
correct.
times.
Yeah.
Correct, well, 4, but yes. Or until it stops. We only did it twice here, only once there because it didn't work for the first one. So let's keep going D. So now we have y equals 3 times -2 minus 1. That's -6 minus 1. Y equals -7. Notice how this is still working.
Yeah.
Hey.
Then we're going to do this one.
Yay.
And they're all going to work. 3 times -2. No, -1. Minus 1. So that's -3 minus 1. Y equals -4. That's how we are getting answer D. You have to check them all.
8 down.
How come that one's only +3?
What, honey?
Because-
You mean the equation says y equals 3x minus 1?
Yeah. The last one
Because-
you said had to be negative because that was negative.
Honey, look at letter D.
That's fine.
Do you see how it says y equals 3x minus 1? So we're using the equations that are given to us.
Is that a
No,
4?
no.
What? Is that a 4?
Yeah.
Y equals -4.
Yep.
Okay, so the next question, 32. It says, using the ordered pairs, create a relation containing 3 ordered pairs with a domain. We heard the word domain already. Let's leave her to work. Okay? I know that you're done, you did great. Let her work. Domain is which value?
X.
X values. So it wants X values of -1, 2, and 4. So the ordered pairs are -1, comma 0, because the X value is -1. The ordered pair of 2, comma 3, because the domain is 2. And the ordered pair 4, -2.
Hold on.
Okay?
I'm confused.
Domains are X values. So we're looking for the ordered pairs that have the X values of -1,
Oh,
2,
got it.
and 4.
Okay, that makes sense.
Okay, we good there?
Wait.
I'm just gonna, can I write it down?
Mhm.
Keep going. So, just on.
So it's
that would be-
-1, comma 0,
Yeah, 2, 3.
2, 3, and
4, -2.
perfect.
Wait, what?
What are you confused about, honey?
I don't know.
So you're choosing the ordered pairs that are there on the right that have the domains. Domains are X values of -1, 2, and 4. So I'm looking for X values that have a -1. The only one that has a -1 is -1, 0.
So I put
Then 2
It's not bad.
is 2 comma 3. And then 4 comma negative 2. Okay?
Wait, I put that in there.
Mhm.
Put it in the little box.
Yeah. Yep. Okay, here we go. Probably the last, no, we're gonna get through these. So number 29, this is the one that says 3x plus 5y equals negative 7. It says, what is the slope?
You just do. Okay, so
Wait, how do you know that?
Because it says domains. Domains are my x values. So my x values of negative 1, an x value of 2, an x value of 4. Notice how none of the others have x values of that? So you only want the x value. Thank you. Whatever you said, if it makes sense, perfect. Okay,
Your thing ran out of ink.
so here we go, 29. This is back to slope-intercept form because it wants slope. Slope-intercept form, remember, was y equals mx plus b, where m was my slope. But it doesn't give us slope right away. Because, is this in slope-intercept form?
No.
Why not? What do we have to solve for? Y. We have to solve for y. So we move the 3x over by subtracting 3x. You guys are fine. I'd rather you make mistakes now. Listen, it's fine. Subtract the 3x. That leaves me 5y equals negative 3x minus 7. And then I divide each individual thing by 5. That leaves me y equals negative 3/5 x minus 7/5. Now, this is where you're going to make a mistake. What's the slope?
Negative 3 over 5.
Yeah, negative 3 over 5. Please don't put negative 3/5x, because I'll have to mark that wrong.
Oh, so it's a slope.
Because this right here, y equals mx plus b. Okay, we still with me? We got one more in class, and then I'll let you know which ones I'd like you to work on.
Wait, what did you not want us to do?
I don't want, the x is not part of slope, just the m is slope.
No, I think I did that. I don't think I did that.
What happened to the 5? I mean, step number 5.
So the question asks just for slope. So slope is m, so we only needed the m. Okay, the last one I can't really do on the board. It says, which number is closest in value to the slope of line n? Slope is rise divided by run. Everybody put your pencil tip where it crosses the y-axis. So put your pencil tip on the y-axis. How many up do you need to go to get to the next point?
Wait, what?
So,
Oh, 1.
so only one. So you make a little bunny hop from here up 1. Then how many do you need to run to the right?
4.
1, 2, 3, 4. Notice how that intersects the line. So 1 over 4 is positive because our slope's going uphill, which means our slope is positive 1/4, which is letter C.
Wait, how?
I'm coming over. Here. So you always start here. Is it?
Here, and then you go that way.
Yep, you're going that way. But we start at the y-intercept. And then it's up 1 over 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? So that's 1/4. But we know it's positive. So because it's going uphill, so it's not either of these, but it's up 1 over 4. Okay? So here's what you're working on. You need to make sure that you do these. Listen. It's going to go easier if you've actually had a chance to look at them. So you're now doing questions number 21 through 13. So I know they're going backwards, but you're doing questions number 21 back to number 13. Once again, it's 8 questions. 21 through 13. If you have questions on them, try your best. Look at your notes. Probably like a minute.
Thanks, Alex. You think I can use a pencil during English?
here is mine.
Or pen, yeah.
Yeah.
Is that like the only, are those the only 2 you have? Because I don't want to take your pen that you use.
No, I hate having drawing on my hands.
That's pretty good.
Thanks. I just hate it.
It was like a
I have like a Sharpie pen.